ready to break loose. I know we sound like a broken record, but that's the truth, man. This thing is about to go belly up, and a lot of you people are going to get caught off guard. Ones that don't know what time we're in, and has been, what they call pussyfooting around instead of coming to the Lord while the doors of mercy is still open. They're taking their liberty and then using it for stupid stuff, Hey, like you say, we wash the hands of you people, washing your blood off our hands, because that's what the Bible says. Ezekiel 3:17, it says, "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me. If thou give," roughly paraphrasing that scripture, I don't got it up, I'm driving, so, "If thou warn the wicked of his wicked way, and the wicked does not turn away from his wickedness, he shall surely die in his iniquity. But that blood will I require at thy hands." That's right. So the Lord is going to require our blood and, the blood of this man on our hands if we don't do what the Lord told us to do. Let's go out there to warn the wicked of their wicked way. Tell them where they're going off at. Let them know that the Lord is coming to destroy America. That whatever you're doing that's outside of, what the Lord has told us to do, you're going to get destroyed. And rather you hear it from there, rather you're going to know, because the Lord said that every ear has to hear this word before the end comes. So you're going to hear this, man. And if you don't take heed to the word of the Lord while the doors of mercy is still open, then you will be destroyed. Simple and plain. And the reason I thought about it is I was, just looking at these women today, man. These women, they think they have it all figured out, because Esau has made it to a point where, women can, basically sustain themselves in this society because they have the government support. You got 911, police department, and so on and so forth. But we're telling you that all that stuff is going to come to an end. It's going to be a time where all your emergency services are going to be obsolete, where you're not going to be able to read. They're not going to be around to assist you anymore. You're going to be basically on your own. And that's when you're going to find out that a man of the Lord is going to be the main, that's going to be your main focus on getting a man of the Lord. And you better hope the man of the Lord choose you, because you can't get with a man of the Lord, just because you're a woman, you think you could just get with a man of the Lord anytime you want to. No. Man, when that day comes, we're going to be doing the choosing. Just like the women have today in this society, where the women, they get to choose who they want to be with. Well, and who they like, and he got to have this. They got these certain standards a man must carry in order to get with her. He got to have this, he got to have that, he got to, so on and so forth. So when that day comes, we're going to have that same, we're going to be echoing that same noise, man, to these women. Tell them, hey, you got to be with this, you got to have this, you got to have to be doing this, you're going to have to share, I'm going to have, whatever the case may be, to be able to fit in your circle. Your standards, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be, it's going to be a no tolerance type of deal, man. We're not going to be putting up with no bullshit. Ain't going to be no arguing, ain't going to be no disappointment, disagreements, your way or you ain't, none of this and that. No, you're going to be in line like a motherfucker. You're going to do exactly what you're told. You're going to be happy to do it. Because if you don't, you know what's next. You're going to be out there thrown to the wolves. And trust me, believe you me, you ain't going to want to be out there dealing with what's out there when all hell breaks loose. You're not think you could just leave the man of the Lord and just get with some other man, because the Lord said the man is going to be more precious than fine gold. It's going to be hard to find a man. It's going to be hard to get a man like that. You can't go outside in the front yard and just dig up some gold, or find some gold in your yard, or down the street or whatever. Gold is something you got to take the time out to go look for. It takes time. You got to know what spot to go find gold. You just can't go to no random spot and go looking for no gold. So it's just going to be like a man of the Lord. It's not going to be no random nigga you can't just go to some random spot and pick up. It's going to be hard to find the man of the Lord. If the Lord doesn't direct you to a man that's, a man of the Lord, you're going to just be out here dealing with any old simple Joe, simple Jake, and both of you are going to get destroyed if he don't eat you or kill you. So yeah, we getting to that point, man. Closer and closer. And like you say, man, all these women that's playing hard to get, telling the man he got to do this, he got to do that in order to get with her, that's going to go out the window. That's going right out the fucking window when the day of the Lord, man, when all hell breaks loose. You got to be willing to get with a man and do whatever it takes to be under that protection of that man of the Lord. It says in Isaiah, the man should be like a rock against the tempest, and he should be a hiding place from the tempest slacking. Roughly paraphrasing, a shade, from the sun, so to speak, from all the heat. So he's going to be a great protection amongst these people when these women, a man of the Lord that day, and they're going to see it too. They're going to notice how regal and how much protection is going to be honest. They're going to see that. They're going to see that we're not going to be all bent out and all fucked up. Like these jakes that's going to get caught off guard out here. That's not going to know what's happening. They think they know, but they really don't. Because a lot of these jakes, when they start putting that, when they start drafting these young men into the war, that's when you're going to see these women really start, humbling down. And you better believe these men are going to war. There's no doubt about it. They going, because this devil is going to starve you out. You ain't going to have no choice but to go to war, because that's the only way you're going to be able to feed yourself and possibly somebody, your family, or something like that. So there's going to be some type of trade-off for food, go to war for food type of deal. They might give you a few shekels or something here and there, but ultimately they're going to starve you out where you're going to want to go to the war to feed yourself, have some type of, stability type of thing, some kind of, comfort. Because, when they start starving you jakes out, especially the ones that, 2/3, you're going to fly to that fucking recruiting office talking about, I'm ready, and they're going to suit and boot you, send you out over there. You're going to become a part of the soil over there in the Middle East. So, yeah, get ready, because it's coming faster than you people think, man. So, it won't be long. Shouldn't be long. I'm almost at my destination. With that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah HaKodash, the honor to the Apostle